Hello everyone and welcome to another video. The fastest ride I have been able to build without cheats or glitches is this twister coaster, which goes a little over 380 kilometers per hour. This is quite fast, but what if we went faster? That's exactly what we're going to do in this video. We will go faster and faster and faster until we reach the speed of sound and far beyond. I have to warn you to be prepared though, as things are going to get quite weird. To start, we'll make a few small changes to the fastest non-cheated coaster. With the disable support limits cheat, we'll be able to get the highest drops possible without all that ugly underground stuff. I've also built steep drops instead of vertical drops, as they actually give more speed than a vertical drop due to a bug. You can watch this video for more info on that. Let's see how fast it now goes with a full load of guests. As you can see, we're using the launched lift hill pieces to gain speed while we're also gaining height. Then we drop down back to the ground and then start climbing again. Every drop will keep going faster and faster up to a point. You'll notice that pretty quickly we start losing speed instead of gaining speed on the way up. This is because even though the launched lift hill is still giving us extra speed, it's not strong enough to completely make up for the speed that we lose due to friction and gaining height. At some point the train will lose the same amount of speed going up as it gains going down, at which point we have reached the top speed of the ride. For this ride it is slightly faster than the no cheats record at 408 km per hour. The reason we're testing it with guests is that the heavier a train is, the slower it loses speed due to friction. With an empty train, the top speed of this ride is only 368 km per hour, so the guests add another 40. The question now becomes, how can we make the train even heavier? Well, there is a cheat in OpenRCT2 that greatly extends the maximum length for rollercoaster trains, so let's increase it to 30 cars. This is a big improvement. We now see a top speed of 630 km per hour. This is also where we discovered that the station brakes are actually not infinitely strong. At speeds this high, the train overshoots the station and enters a sort of eternal arriving at station mode. It will continue riding around the track at the same speed that trains move at when they're in stations, no matter if it goes up or down. It only stops once it reaches the next station. Going from 8 to 30 cars increased the top speed by a lot, so what will going to 100 cars give us? Well, now it gets truly too fast for the game to keep up with. Because it takes a while to reach the top speed, I've increased the number of laps from 1 to 5. The problem is that the train goes so fast that it sometimes doesn't properly register as having completed a lap when it passes the station. When this happens, the speed says arriving at stations, even though this time the train speed does keep behaving normally. We can't see how fast it goes, but this footage isn't sped up, so clearly it's going very fast. After having done much more than the 5 laps we told it to do, the train does one final lap at the slow station speed before it finally finishes. A look at the stats window tells us that this train reached an incredibly high top speed of 1398 km per hour, which is faster than the speed of sound. We could keep making the train longer, but there is a better way to increase the weight. There is a console command that lets you set the weight of a ride vehicle to whatever you want. When you set it to just 1, the train becomes so light that it only reaches a top speed of 27 km per hour on a vertical track. The real fun though is when you increase the weight, although I have a feeling this isn't the last we've seen of a super light vehicle either. The maximum weight a vehicle can have is 65,535. For comparison, an empty car of a twister coaster has a weight of 650, which is about 100 times less. The heaviest coaster train possible is a train of 255 cars long, with each vehicle having a weight of 65,535, which is exactly what we're looking at here. To get the highest speed, we need to change a few more things. First, I have built one infinite loop consisting of 2 hills, which allows the train to take as long as it needs to get up to its top speed. Secondly, we need a very short station so that all the 255 cars are compressed into a very short train. The center of gravity of a very long train will never actually get to the bottom of the hill, so it won't go as fast as a very short train of the same weight. When we start this baby up and let it run, it quickly picks up a lot of speed, but it takes a while to get to the top speed. Eventually it reaches an equilibrium with a speed of 1580 km per hour when it's at the bottom of one of the hills. This is the fastest roller coaster I have ever built, but it is not the fastest ride. What could possibly be faster than this? Well, it's the ride in the thumbnail, the GoKarts. You may be wondering, how on earth does a GoKart go faster than a roller coaster? It is because the GoKarts and the mini golf can do something that no other ride can, the eternal downward slope. If you want to know how this exactly works, you can watch this video, but what happens is that the kart gets to the bottom of the hill and then it teleports back to the top. This causes it to only ever go downhill, allowing it to go incredibly fast. Well, that is if you increase the weight, otherwise even the heaviest guests won't go much faster than 100 km an hour. By the way, the reason that the length of the go-kart train is 3 karts is that I found that that length gives the highest maximum speed. Don't question it, just go with it. With the maximum possible weight of 65,535, the go-karts can reach an astonishing speed of 2,309 km per hour. This is nearly twice the speed of sound, or to use a fancy term, Mach 2. As fast as this is only the start, as now things will get really weird. As we've seen, the heavier the ride, the faster it goes. An example with the go-karts is that if you set the weight to only 10,000, their top speed is only 646 km per hour. However, if you first set the weight to the maximum and then lower it to 10,000, somehow the maximum speed increases from 2309 to 2351 km per hour. Now the rule is reversed. The lower the weight, the faster the ride, somehow. If we lower the weight again, this time to 1000, the maximum speed goes up to 2360. This seems to be quite near the maximum, as the top speed goes up by smaller and smaller amounts. A weight of 300 gives a top speed of 2362 km per hour, which is only 2 higher. However, if we decrease the weight to 200, suddenly the top speed shoots up to 2525 km per hour. I have no idea why this happens, but regardless, it's about to get even weirder. If we decrease the weight even further, the top speed stays the same, until we reach a weight of 15. With this weight, the speed suddenly increases a lot more and starts fluctuating rapidly. If we slow down the game to 10% speed, we can see that it fluctuates roughly between 3100 and 3700 km per hour. This fluctuation will increase the lighter the karts get. At a weight of 2, the range of fluctuation has increased to about 2200 km per hour to 4500 km per hour for some reason. We can lower the weight once more down to 1, which is the lowest possible weight, but we'll leave that to later. First, we're going to take a look at an even more unlikely ride to be super fast, the car ride. Yes, the numbers are about to go absolutely insane with one of the slowest rides in the game, and the method we use for this is really strange. Here is a twister coaster with a twister train of 5 cars long. If we switch to stand-up twister trains, they will also be 5 cars long, which makes sense. However, if we switch to floorless trains, we suddenly have 6 cars per train. Where does that extra car come from? It comes from the little tiny thing at the front of the twister and stand-up twister trains. The game counts it as a car, but since it cannot seat any guests, it is not counted in this window. So this twister train does have 6 cars, but only 5 usable cars. If you use cheats to make your floorless train only 1 car long and now switch to a twister train, you get a train consisting of only the tiny little thing at the front, which looks absolutely ridiculous. What does this have to do with the car ride? Well, the car ride also has extra unusable cars, except that it has 2 of them and they are invisible. So, what happens if you take a floorless train of 1 car long and then switch to sports cars? That's right, you get a train of -1 cars long. This makes absolutely 0 sense, and so does the behavior that comes with it. Look at what happens when I put the ride in test mode and follow the car. Absolute madness. It just whizzes around the track at supersonic speeds back and forth, and it seems to do different things every time. Sometimes it also slows down to suddenly speed up again. When I first discovered this behavior, I was absolutely floored by how random and hilarious this is. According to the stats, this car ride reached a top speed of 12,464 km per hour, which is insanely fast. Despite that, it's not even close to the highest we can achieve. Every layout seems to have a different top speed, and the highest I've been able to achieve is with this very simple loop of track. Once again, the car goes absolutely crazy, and this time it results in an almost unbelievable top speed of 101,007 km per hour. This is almost 1.5 times the speed of Voyager 1 as it travels through deep space. At this speed, it would only take about 4 hours to drive from Earth to the moon. We're still not done though, as you may remember that we have 1 weight reduction to go on the GoKarts. If we change the weight from the 2 that we had to 1, the fluctuating speed goes completely off the rails. It rapidly changes all over the place, from less than 100 to over 100,000. If we again slow the game down to 10% speed, we can really see how randomly it changes. The highest speed I've seen is 105,180 km per hour. This is the highest speed I've ever achieved in RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. You can't change the weight to 0 by the way, the game won't let you do that. If you change it to 65,536, which rolls over to 0 instead, it does something really weird. At first it continues like normal, but eventually it gets stuck at the turnaround. The speed keeps fluctuating, but the carts don't move. With even more glitches you can probably achieve even higher speeds, but I'll leave that as an exercise for the viewer. One trick that I would really like to see is vertical teleportation for roller coasters. The eternal slope on go-karts is great, but it's only a gentle slope. Roller coasters will be able to have an eternal vertical downward slope. Imagine the kinds of speeds we will be able to achieve with that. For now though, the weirdly fluctuating speed of the super light go-karts is the fastest speed we've ever seen in the game. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like or leave a comment. You can also subscribe or follow me on Twitch. Thank you all for watching and I will see you in the next video.